if we look at the consequences of climate change, then we can really realize that we will have many climate refugees in the future.
Idag är klimatförändringarna med dess konsekvenser i form av ökade havsnivåer med översvämningar och erosion av kustområden en realitet. Och det är bara ett exempel på vilka konsekvenser den globala uppvärmningen får för människor som redan idag står inför faktumet att tvingas lämna sina hemländer. Men är de att betrakta som flyktingar enligt den flyktingkonvention som FN 1951 upprättade efter andra världskrigets fasor och den flyktingvåg som följde?
My name is Francesca. I'm a researcher at Stockholm University. My research is about climate refugees and environmental justice. And the goal of my research is to see whether it is possible to provide protection or a legal recognition for this category of people compelled to flee because of the impact of climate change.
Francesca Rossignoli har en bakgrund som jurist i Italien men arbetar nu på den statsvetenskapliga institutionen på Stockholms universitet.
The situation of climate refugees is very complicated because they exist. But it's difficult to prove their existence because every time you try to define them, you face a lot of difficulties because there are many types of environmental degradation and also there's no legal definition. And so it's very difficult to identify who climate refugees are and the places where they come from. But still, they exist.
Och på grund av att det idag inte finns någon gemensam definition av de människor som tvingas fly till följd av klimatförändringarnas konsekvenser så går det heller inte att säga hur många de är. Men att de finns, det är ett faktum. De små öarna Kiribati och Tuvalu som ligger i Stilla havsområdet är 2 öländer som just nu håller på att förlora sina landområden på grund av havsnivåhöjningar, vilket är en direkt följd av klimatförändringarna.
See, it's very quick now. It's coming up here. This is my house now. My house was there, where the water is now. There, between those plants. My house was here, between those plants there to here. And now it's a sea.
Och skulle dessa människor till slut tvingas att lämna sina hem för att öarna försvinner av havsnivåhöjningarna så har de alltså ingen rättslig status att betrakta som flyktingar enligt FNs flyktingkonvention.
Having a legal status means that I have a certain number of rights. So for instance, I have the right to receive assistance, to receive protection and to receive, for instance, manure settlement. But this means that someone else has the duty to provide me those kind of things. And of course, in this case, we are talking about states. So states will have the duty to provide me assistance. But if I don't have any legal status, then it's just a matter of charity.
Så för att fylla de luckor som Francesca menar finns i den nuvarande flyktingkonventionen när det gäller gruppen klimatflyktingar så använder hon sig av begreppet klimaträttvisa. Genom denna term försöker hon att hitta kriterier för hur de människor som tvingas fly och inte har något land att återvända till på grund av klimatförändringarnas konsekvenser skulle kunna få rättslig status som flyktingar i FNs flyktingkonvention.
Environmental justice means the disproportionate sharing of environmental burdens and environmental goods. So basically it means that we are not equal in terms of in front of the environment. It's just to say it's a concept that studies environmental inequalities. So if you think about, for instance, a waste incinerator and you want to know where this will be located in the future, just think of where poor people live. And for sure, the waste incinerator will be built close the areas where ethnic minorities or poor people or whatever category of people could be discriminated live. This is basically the main aspect of this concept. And of course we have also a positive use of the concept in terms of how we can redefine, how we can design policies in a way that environmental inequalities are avoided or prevented, or how to create, let's say, a more just policies. And I'm trying to operationalize this concept in a way to, to provide a sort of environmental justice criteria for future policies facing this new challenge of climate refugees. My dream is to provide a kind of, not legal solution, but still a proposal to fill the legal gap, and also some environmental justice criteria to orient future political scenarios to deal with this new emerging category of refugees. This is my ambition.